Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to lean in, because what I'm about to say is not just a message. It's a warning, a wake-up call, and a word in season. The world is moving faster than ever before. We are no longer in a season of slow transitions or gradual movements. We are in a time of divine acceleration, where doors are opening suddenly, where opportunities appear without warning, and where only those who have been quietly preparing will be able to respond with boldness and clarity. This is not the time to be casual. This is not the time to be asleep. It is time to awaken your spirit, sharpen your vision, and align your life with purpose. What is coming is not just a moment, it is a movement. And those who are unprepared will be left behind watching others occupy the very place they were called to influence. The signs are all around us. What used to take 10 years is now happening in 10 months. Ideas are becoming realities overnight. Nations are shifting. Institutions are crumbling. The world is groaning for answers. And in the midst of this shaking, there is also a calling for those who understand the season, not emotionally, but spiritually. You must recognize that the speed of change in the world is not a threat. It is a signal. It is a trumpet sounding from heaven saying, get in position. And position is not physical. It is spiritual. You don't get ready when the opportunity arrives. You are either ready when it comes, or you miss it entirely. And let me say this clearly, you do not have unlimited time to obey divine instruction. Destiny has a window, purpose has a schedule, and heaven doesn't operate on your convenience. There are assignments that carry expiration dates. There are relationships that are seasonal. There are doors that will not remain open forever. Delay is not just dangerous, it can be disqualifying. Every time you postpone a step of obedience, you risk forfeiting a chapter of your calling. You cannot afford to treat divine moments casually. When destiny knocks, hesitation is rebellion. You must also understand that what you are asking God for is not coming in seed form. It's coming in full weight. You've prayed for open doors, for global platforms, for influence, for breakthrough. But you must realize that what you are calling a blessing is also a test. Can you carry what you've prayed for? Can your character sustain your calling? This is not about visibility, it's about capacity. Because when it arrives, it will not make you ready. It will reveal if you were ready. That's why your preparation is sacred. You don't just prepare with your hands, you prepare with your heart. Before you build externally, you must be constructed internally. Many people want results without becoming the kind of person who can handle those results. But let me remind you, becoming comes before receiving. Before Joseph ruled Egypt, he served in silence. Before David wore the crown, he fought lions in the field. Before Esther saved a nation, she spent a year in preparation. The platform does not make you powerful. It only exposes who you already are. You don't grow on the stage, you grow in obscurity. And that growth, that hidden preparation, is what separates those who endure from those who collapse. This is also not the time for excuses. Excuses are the comfort food of failure. They taste good in the moment but leave you spiritually malnourished. Excuses are the language of those who've made peace with mediocrity. But purpose doesn't speak that language. Purpose demands clarity, discipline, and urgency. Your assignment will not adjust itself to fit your schedule. It will not wait for you to feel ready. Some things you only become ready for by saying yes and stepping into them. And if you wait until everything is perfect, you'll miss the miracle in the momentum. Fear will tell you to delay, but faith tells you to move. This moment is not about competition. It's about stewardship. What's coming is not trying to find you. It's coming to test you. God is not just sending opportunities, He is sending responsibilities. And what looks like promotion is actually a proving ground. How you handle it will determine if you hold it or lose it. The call that's coming will not flatter you. It will challenge you. And if you're still depending on comfort, applause, or permission from people, you are not yet ready for the weight of what heaven is releasing. You were born for this time. Everything in your past was preparation. Every setback, every delay, every battle, it was not wasted. It was training. But now the time for delay is over. Heaven is moving, the earth is groaning, and purpose is pressing in like never before. The speed at which the world is changing is not random. It is not coincidental. It is prophetic. You need to open your eyes and discern the signs. What looks like confusion in the natural is actually coordination in the spiritual. Things are not falling apart. They are being rearranged. The structures of man are collapsing because the purposes of God are advancing. What's shaking is not your foundation, it's your comfort. And that shaking is not there to destroy you. It's there to awaken you. We are in a time where acceleration is divine. Technology is advancing by the minute. Trends are shifting before people can adjust. Economies are transforming. Nations are trembling. Voices are rising. And through it all, heaven is sending a clear message. Purpose can't wait. What's moving fast isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to summon you. Because what you're calling speed, God is calling strategy. He is speeding things up because the time is short and the harvest is ripe. And if you're moving slow, you're moving in the wrong rhythm. We are witnessing an outbreak of urgency in the Spirit. There is no more time to be casual about your calling. The pace of today is a reflection of heaven's timeline, not Earth's schedule. When God moves quickly, it means He's activating something eternal. When doors start opening rapidly, it's not because you're lucky, it's because the season demands it. You must stop measuring your life by comfort and begin measuring it by assignment. Because this is not a season of waiting, it's a season of walking, moving, building, answering. Understand this. If the enemy can't stop your purpose, he'll try to slow it down. He'll distract you with good things to keep you from the right things. He'll drown your time in busy work while your destiny sits untapped. But acceleration exposes what matters. The speed of the season demands focus. You cannot afford to be casual when God is calling you to be strategic. You cannot treat divine urgency with natural passivity. If everything around you is changing and you're still hesitating, you're not just behind schedule, you're out of step with heaven. Purpose is urgent because purpose is eternal. Every minute wasted is a moment unrecoverable. You don't get time back. You stored it or you lose it. This is not about being busy. This is about being aligned. Some of you are tired not because you're doing too much, but because you're doing what no longer fits your purpose. And the speed of this season is God's way of separating what's essential from what's expired. When you feel life moving faster, don't panic, pivot. Ask the Holy Spirit, what are you showing me? What must I align with? What must I let go of? Because purpose is not just what you're called to do, it's what you're called to do now. Delayed purpose is diluted power. You must move while the window is open. You must build while the ground is soft. You must answer the call while heaven is still speaking. The pace of today is not a threat, it's an announcement. God is moving, and He's inviting you to move with Him. If you wait until it's comfortable, you'll miss the call. If you wait until it's perfect, you'll forfeit the purpose. What's accelerating isn't chaos, it's calling. It's God saying, I'm doing a new thing, now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? If you perceive it, you will prepare for it. If you prepare for it, you will participate in it. You were not born to be a spectator in this season. You were born to be a solution. And solutions don't stand still, they run. They act, they build, they birth. You are a carrier of something urgent. Don't let fear slow your feet. Don't let confusion cloud your call. When the season speeds up, the wise don't freeze, they follow. Because in every divine acceleration, there is a divine instruction. The pace of today is prophetic. What's accelerating isn't chaos, it's calling. We must come to terms with the truth that many ignore. Destiny has a deadline. Purpose does not operate on your personal comfort or calendar. When heaven issues a mandate, it is time sensitive. There is a divine window, a moment of grace, where what you've been called to do aligns perfectly with what's happening in the earth. And if you miss that moment through delay, hesitation, or indecision, you risk forfeiting what was fully yours. Destiny is not denied to many. It is simply delayed until it dies in their hands, not because they weren't chosen, but because they wouldn't move. We love to talk about purpose, but we forget that purpose has a pace. It's not just about knowing your assignment. It's about responding to it in time. A late response is often the same as disobedience. The people of Israel stood at the edge of the promised land and delayed in their belief. And when they finally decided to go up, God told them it was too late. They had missed the moment. The door was still visible, but it was no longer accessible. Just because the opportunity is still in sight doesn't mean it's still open. You can see the door and still miss the entry. Every delayed decision in the life of a purpose-driven person is a loss of ground. And every inch of territory lost through delay becomes harder to reclaim later. Dominion is not maintained through desire alone. It is kept through decisive action. Some of us are praying for what we already have permission to pursue. But heaven doesn't respond to prayers that replace obedience. You can't pray away a missed step. What God told you to start last year, your breakthrough is still waiting on it. What you postponed is now postponing you. There is a cost to delay that we often don't consider. When you delay, you not only miss the moment, you lose momentum. Purpose has a rhythm, and when you break it, you fall out of sync with the season. Suddenly, what should have been easy becomes hard. What should have flowed becomes a fight, not because God changed his mind, but because we changed our posture. Delay opens the door to discouragement, to fear, to confusion. It allows weeds to grow where fruit should be. And before long, we are fighting battles that obedience would have made unnecessary. Let me be clear, hesitation is not wisdom when God has spoken. Waiting becomes disobedience when instruction has already been given. And for many of us, the issue is not that we don't know what to do. It's that we are afraid of doing it. But fear tolerated is faith contaminated. And when you allow fear to delay your obedience, you are allowing your doubts to lead you instead of your destiny. But destiny demands discipline. It demands decisions that are not based on feelings, but on faith. The truth is, we often think we're waiting on God when he's actually waiting on us. He's already released the word. He's already confirmed the call. He's already placed the vision in your spirit. Now he's watching to see if you trust him enough to act. Because it's not just about having faith for the future. It's about moving now in response to what's been revealed. You don't need another prophecy. You need a plan. You don't need more time. You need to redeem the time you've wasted. Because destiny doesn't wait. It prepares a path and then it moves. If you don't step into what belongs to you, someone else will. If you don't write the book, another voice will rise. If you don't launch the vision, another builder will take the land. Delay isn't just about losing time. It's about surrendering territory. It's about handing over ground that was meant for your influence. And the kingdom of God cannot afford for those with the blueprint to sit on the sidelines out of fear. This is a season of movement, not perfect steps, faithful ones. Because in the eyes of God, a late yes is often received like a silent no. Your destiny is on a timer. And that timer is not counting up, it's counting down. What you do next matters. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when you have every detail figured out, but now, right now. Because delay is dangerous when destiny is on a deadline. Every postponed decision is a potential loss of dominion. You must understand something foundational to the process of purpose. Before God gives it to you, he will shape you for it. There is no elevation without transformation, no mantle without maturity, no promotion without preparation. The promises of God are never random. They are always assigned to those who are ready in identity, not just in desire. You do not receive based on what you want. You receive based on who you've become. And if you receive prematurely, what was meant to bless you can end up breaking you. Many people are asking for levels they have not yet grown into. They are praying for platforms their character cannot yet sustain. But heaven does not promote ambition. It promotes alignment. Before God releases what you are believing for, he will ask, have you become the person that can carry what you're asking me to give you? Because it is not just about getting the blessing. It is about being built to hold it. There is a danger in receiving something before you've been formed to handle it. We see it all the time, gifted but not grounded, anointed but not accountable, successful but not stable. And when blessing comes to an immature vessel, it becomes a burden. God is not in the business of breaking you with the very thing you were born to carry. So in his mercy, he withholds what your immaturity would mishandle. What you call delay, God calls protection. Think about it. David was anointed king as a teenager, but he did not sit on the throne until years later. Why? Because he had to become a king internally before wearing the crown externally. He had to learn warfare, submission, patience, restraint. He had to be forged in the fields, tested in caves, and refined in silence. Had David received the throne too soon, he would have ruled like Saul, driven by insecurity, not identity. But because he became, he could carry the weight of his destiny with integrity. Becoming is the process that burns off the parts of you that can't survive your future. It's the slow work of God shaping your soul, trimming your ego, refining your motives. It's in the hidden seasons. When no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when doors seem shut, that God is doing his greatest work in you. Because he knows that public influence must be rooted in private obedience. If your foundation is shallow, your fall will be great. But if your roots go deep, no storm will be able to uproot you. There is a generation chasing platforms more than they are pursuing becoming. We are rushing to be seen before we are secure. But visibility without identity is dangerous. When the weight of purpose rests on an unstable identity, it collapses under pressure. That is why heaven hides you. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Some of the silence you're experiencing is not rejection, it's refinement. God is protecting your future by building your character. He's giving you time to become. Stop asking for the reward if you're unwilling to endure the refinement. Stop demanding the manifestation when you've resisted the maturing. Because the throne you want is not just about glory, it's about responsibility. And responsibility without preparation turns gifts into graves. There are things you've been called to do, but your current version can't handle them yet. That's not condemnation. That's grace. God doesn't want you to just touch it. He wants you to keep it. This is the season to lean into the becoming, build the disciplines. Master the mundane. Strengthen the areas no one sees. Heal what's broken in secret, because what's coming is heavy, and heaven is looking for those who have been tempered in the fire. Your gifting will open the door, but your becoming is what will keep you in the room. Do not shortcut the process. Do not envy those who got there fast, because anything built without foundation will eventually fall. Don't rush the outcome. Trust the process. There is greatness on your life, but greatness without growth leads to grief. It is better to wait well than to arrive broken. When you become who God has called you to be, you will receive what God has already prepared for you. Because maturity always precedes manifestation. Blessing without becoming leads to breaking. Maturity precedes manifestation. Purpose is not polite. It doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It doesn't slow down while you gather your courage. Purpose arrives on time with or without your cooperation. And when it comes, it requires your full attention, your full obedience. Excuses have never moved heaven. They have only disqualified those who were once chosen. Your season does not submit to your hesitation. When heaven announces that it's time, no explanation can replace execution. Either you move or you miss it. Excuses are subtle assassins. They don't just delay action, they erode vision. They disguise themselves as logic, as practicality, even as wisdom. But in truth, excuses are the language of those who've given up without admitting it. They are the internal compromise we make when obedience feels costly. You say, I'll do it next year. But what if the season closes this year? You say, I'm not ready. But what if readiness only comes through movement? You say, I'm waiting on confirmation, but you've already received 5. Excuses are not delays. They are denials dressed in hesitation. You must understand the longer you nurse an excuse, the harder it becomes to remember the original assignment. The mind can justify anything the heart is afraid of, but destiny doesn't answer to fear. It answers to faith. You cannot hold on to excuses and walk in purpose at the same time. One will cancel the other. And the tragedy is this: excuses feel safe, but they cost everything. They cost time, opportunity, obedience, and eventually they cost identity, because you become what you repeatedly excuse. Throughout Scripture, when God called people, they responded with excuses. Moses said he couldn't speak. Jeremiah said he was too young. Gideon said he was too weak. But heaven never entertained their limitations. Why? Because purpose is not built on what you lack. It's built on who sent you. When God gives an instruction, He already accounts for your insufficiency. He doesn't choose the equipped. He equips the chosen. So when you make excuses, you're not just avoiding a task. You're insulting the wisdom of the one who assigned you. Excuses often hide behind waiting. We say we're waiting on God, when in fact God is waiting on us. The instruction has already been given. The timing has already been declared. The door is already open. But we delay out of fear, insecurity, procrastination, or comfort. And while we're managing our emotions, the moment moves forward without us. Your season is not bound to your pace. It moves at the speed of obedience. And when you lag behind, you don't just delay your future. You invite someone else to take your place. There are things you've been called to build, places you've been called to occupy, people you've been called to reach. But the longer you excuse your inactivity, the louder your regrets will speak in the years to come. Excuses may silence conviction in the moment, but they amplify regret in the future. What you tolerate today becomes the ceiling of your tomorrow. If you excuse a small delay now, you normalize disobedience later. And one day, you'll look back and realize that your future wasn't stolen. It was surrendered, one excuse at a time. This season is too critical to play small. This moment is too prophetic to be passive. Purpose is passing by your house, knocking on your door. Not to ask if you feel qualified, but to see if you're available. God doesn't need your perfection, He needs your participation. And if you keep giving Him excuses, you'll soon be passed over by people who simply said, yes, in faith. You are not waiting for more clarity. You're waiting for more courage. You are not lacking opportunity. You're lacking urgency. And until you treat this season as sacred, you will keep delaying what was meant to launch you into destiny. Stop talking yourself out of what God has already assigned to you. The time for excuses is over. The door is open. The window is closing. The season is moving. Your season will not wait for your excuses. Excuses are the language of those who've abandoned vision. There is a dangerous assumption that many people quietly hold in their hearts, the idea that what is coming will come to find them, that what is meant for them will arrive passively, land in their lap, knock politely, wait patiently. But let me dismantle that illusion. What's coming is not searching for you like a lost package. It's coming to test you. It's not showing up to confirm your wish. It's arriving to evaluate your readiness. There is a difference between a gift and a test. A gift looks to bless. A test looks to reveal. And in this next season, what's coming will carry both. What you've been praying for, preparing for, prophesying about, it's closer than ever. But don't mistake its approach as a guarantee of comfort. What's on the way is not just a reward. It is a responsibility wrapped in acceleration. And responsibility doesn't ask if you're excited. It checks if you're equipped. This is the season where your preparation will be proven. Your stewardship will be scanned. Your identity will be investigated. Because opportunity always examines the vessel before it pours. Heaven doesn't waste oil. The weight of your next is not coming to make you feel important. It's coming to prove if you can carry something important without collapsing. The arrival of destiny doesn't flatter the unprepared. It exposes them. And what many call delay is actually mercy in disguise, God giving them time to become who they said they were ready to be. It's easy to shout over prophecy, but much harder to survive the process that fulfills it. Everyone wants arrival, but few embrace alignment. Because when your season comes, it doesn't come with applause. It comes with accountability. Your name is being called in rooms you haven't walked into yet. But what's being tested isn't your reputation. It's your foundation. Can you carry the weight of what's been assigned to you without cracking under pressure? Can you handle influence without losing integrity? Can you receive acceleration without abandoning alignment? God is not sending breakthrough just to make you feel blessed. He's sending it to see if you become trustworthy. Blessings are not just affirmations, they are assignments. And when they arrive, they shift the environment around you. They attract both opportunity and opposition. The question is not, will it come? The question is, will you be found ready when it does? Preparation doesn't begin when the door opens. It begins when the word is spoken. Many people think they'll rise to the level of their calling when the time comes. But the truth is, you rise to the level of your training. The time to be faithful is before you're seen. The time to be disciplined is before you're promoted. The time to be holy is before you're celebrated. Because when the season shifts, the only thing that will keep you from being crushed is what you've already built in private. What's coming will not lower itself to meet your delay. It will not adjust itself to your excuses. It will arrive on schedule, full of pressure, full of purpose, full of weight. And when it gets there, it will not ask, are you excited? It will ask, are you ready? The future does not cater to comfort. It comes dressed as responsibility, and it tests every corner of your capacity. If you've been preparing, it will promote you. If you've been playing, it will expose you. You've been praying for the next level, but the next level is not looking for your passion, it's looking for your posture. Are you consistent in the quiet? Are you integral in the invisible? Are you submitted when no one is watching? Because your answer will not be in what you say when the moment arrives. It will be in what you are when the moment comes. Don't expect destiny to come pampering you. It comes proving you. And if you're not prepared, what should be a platform becomes a pressure point. This is why God trains you in secret. This is why He tests you in silence. So when the moment comes, you don't fold under the weight of what you begged Him to release. So now the question is not, is it coming? It's coming. The question is, will you be ready when it arrives? Because the shift is not pending, it's present. The season is not approaching, it's accelerating. And what heaven has scheduled cannot be postponed for your hesitation. You are not waiting on destiny. Destiny is waiting on your decision. Everything you've prayed about, fasted for, cried over, and journaled through is standing at the edge of manifestation, demanding a version of you that no longer makes excuses, no longer delays obedience, no longer negotiates with purpose. It is time to grow up into your assignment, to step out of survival and into stewardship. Because what's on the way is not just bigger, it's heavier, and only the prepared will be trusted to carry it. The days of casual pursuit are over. This is a season for decisive people, people who understand that the weight of their calling requires the death of their comfort. That maturity is not optional. It's the only legal access to manifestation. Heaven does not respond to potential. It responds to preparation. And what you refuse to become, you disqualify yourself from receiving. Stop blaming people. Stop blaming timing. Heaven is not confused about your calling. The only variable left in the equation is you. Will you become? Will you build? Will you move when the trumpet sounds? Because this time you won't get 5 more confirmations. This time the window will not stay open. This time the future is arriving like a flood, and only those anchored in discipline and vision will not be swept away. You don't have time to hesitate. You don't have time to play small. You don't have time to entertain fear disguised as wisdom. Everything you were born to do is now calling for your full attention. Not your next version, this one. Because your generation is waiting. Your assignment is waiting. Your future is at the door. And it's not knocking, it's pressing. Ready or not, it's coming fast.